it do? This is your boy North End Florida with another episode. This is episode 110 of the Kickback Podcast Show, man. And I appreciate everybody that's been supporting your boy and the content that I've been dropping since like 2018, 2019, man. It's been a journey and stuff like that. So, like I said, this is episode 110 where we're discussing the roles and the man, the roles of the relationship, and we just go dive in deep. We did a part one, and I had Kendrick Smith and Miss Erica Rene, and it was a dope show. And a lot of people was talking about let's do a part two. So this is the part two. The roles of the rules and the roles of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So also you can go during this episode, man. Y'all can go down if you're following the Kickback Podcast page, which I hope you're doing. You can support the show by purchasing stars down below. I think you can see it down in the comment section or the link section down below, and you could purchase some stars, and you know what I'm saying, support the Kickback Podcast Show and help me become one of the dopest shows in America, in the US, in the whole world. So, but anyway, man, we finna dive in deep. And we finna get into like a dope show, man. And y'all wanted the part two, so here's the part two. Let me bring my guest on. Well, I don't know what happened to Ken, but Miss Erica Rene, that Ken. There you go. What's good? What's good, y'all? What's popping? Hold on. Let me see. Everybody went muted.
Oh, sorry. What's going on?
I was wondering why everybody went muted and stuff like that, man.
Nah,
Y'all
I just
scared
muted
me, man.
to give you a shine, man.
y'all know what we was talking about before the show, and then Bane and stuff. I was like, oh,
we got nervous.
Yeah, man. I'll give you a shine, man.
Oh man. I think KT Griffin is hacked. I might have to. A lot of people been getting spammed. I might have to spam him on out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it be sometimes. Yeah. But man, I appreciate y'all coming on the show, man. This is part two. Part one was very dope, very informative show. And I appreciate y'all. That was a long show. That's one of the longest shows I done, but it didn't feel long because you know what I'm saying, the conversation was, you know what I'm saying, it was 100 and stuff like that. He said he's not spam, but I might have to cut him out of here because he's acting like he's spam and stuff like that. But how y'all been doing? What's up with y'all?
Bro, man, slow boogie on my end, man. Just work. That's about it, man.
Working the corporate job, getting the bake sales, weddings, birthdays, the usual, staying busy because I can't stay still, but good.
For sure. And I want to let the people know, if y'all have any comments, if y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask, y'all can check the number down below, 409-233-0017. You can call, you can ask questions to Ken or Erica or Renee if y'all do not agree, or if y'all agree, or if y'all just want to call and chime in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could do that. Also, like I said, man, you can support the Kickback Podcast by sending your boy some stars and stuff like that. I think they're cheap. I mean, like 100 stars is like 99 cents or whatever, but do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is and stuff like that. So y'all ready to get into the first question and stuff like that?
Yes, let's get to it.
Let's get to the first question, man. And this was a good question that my brother came up with, man. Do women marry more for love or stability? Ken, let's start off with you. What you think about that, man? Love or stability? What's up with that?
I mean, honestly, man, after some thought about it, I honestly believe we do both. You can do both. You can marry for love and stability. I mean, because I know I tell my daughter I want her to marry a man that can take care of her. So it'd be kind of hypocritical of me to say, you know what I'm saying, women only marry for stability. I think it requires both. I mean, you can love somebody and want them to be stable. I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about also mentally stable. So I think you can marry for both. I mean, because if you don't have the financial stability and you just got love, the marriage going to probably end somewhere down the line anyway. You're going to run into some problems.
Yeah. Financially, whatever the case may be, she might not be feeling protected or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can love that person, but still, man, it takes a lot to bring all that together. You know, like you said, I mean, I think one without the other, I mean, the relationship, if it's not strong already, it's going to fold up. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? I mean, you could love somebody, but you can also love somebody from a distance. You
Yes.
know, so um, Miss Erica, what do you think about that? Since you're a woman yourself, you mean love or
Yes, as
stability?
a woman myself, so I said the background. I feel like when someone asks this question, especially as a woman, it's a little background that they should give about themselves. Like I have always been like the provider. Like got my sister through college, got my brother here, got him into college. So for me, stability was something that I had to earn for myself. I had to do it for myself. I'm very comfortable financially. And
Mm-hmm.
so when it go into relationship, even being very comfortable, there is a point to where I am looking for that connection. I want that connection to be strong in love, but the stability that I'm looking for is not necessarily a monetary stability. I want to make sure that he's mentally stable,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually stable, and touch. Because to me, like you can have all the money in the world and have the most chaotic marriage or relationship. So to me, it's not just a stability on monetary needs, but it's like there has to be a balance between the two, because in order for me to be able to love, to be in this relationship, there's a level of love that has to grow within the relationship. Like it's, some may think of it as a business transaction. I think for long term and longevity, when we're old and gray
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sitting here and there's nothing we can do but sit here and look at each other,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to need to be a little bit more than just, a little bit more than just because he had the money or things of that sort. I got to make sure that my partner is mentally stable and also there is a deep connection, which also leads you to having love with that partner. So
Now, let me say this, because you know what I'm saying, a lot of females, they get their heart broken. You know, they go through certain things. I just want to speak on the lady side. So they get their feelings hurt. They, guys doing bad or vice versa. They just can't find the right one. So at a certain age, I think women start to lean more towards the stability, in a relationship, rather than love. And it kind of does become like a business thing, because a lot of people don't like to be alone.
well, also I feel like when in that regard, it's because people become lazy. Even relationships, the work into relationships these days have become lazy. And when I say
Mm,
lazy, it's like, again, like I think I said for like one in that everything's about instant gratification, because that's what social media has like trained
yeah.
to be, so to speak. And so when you are in a relationship, it's like before you get into a relationship, you also have to do work on yourself as a person before you get into this relationship with this person. Because if you're of sound mind, spirit, body, all of those things above, when you get into that relationship, you'll be able to focus on that and try to have an equally yoked partner.
Mhm. That's true. Hey, Ken, I seen you kind of making like little comments. What you think?
Uh, Talking about me, Floyd.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay. I mean, honestly, man, as you get older, I mean, of course, you don't want to marry somebody that's not where you at. I mean, I wouldn't want to, like I said, right now. I mean, for a woman to be like, oh, I want a man to be able to take care of X, Y, and Z. I mean, you have children, you have shit, you have things that you need to take care of. So you don't want to have to basically start over like you dating a high schooler. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
want to go that far down. Like, I mean, we're grown with bills and responsibilities. So I wouldn't be mad if a woman wanting to date a man that's financially stable. I mean, financially, because like I said, as you get older, it's certain things that you want to have when you grow. You know what I'm saying? You growing together, but nobody want to start over. It's like I got to take
Yeah,
care of you. From the
yeah,
bottom up. No woman wants that. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
can understand a
So,
woman.
no, no, go ahead. I'm trying to cut you off. You go ahead, finish your point. You heard me,
No, I
Ken?
mean, that's what you say.
No, no. I was like, you go ahead and finish your point. I didn't want to
No, I was just
interrupt you.
saying. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I definitely think as you get older, it's definitely for stability. I mean, some women may lower their standards because a guy is more financially where she want to be versus dating a guy that's just attractive. If you dating a guy that's just attractive but ain't got nothing to offer, I mean, it's only going to get you so far. So I wouldn't be mad at a woman saying, "I want to date a man because he has what I need as far as financial stability."
Right, but what you also have to be careful when you make that statement is that men think, well, I provide, I take care, the bills will cover, I give you everything that you ask for. And for us, there has to be a deeper connection. So it can't be
Mm,
just financial at the end of the day. Unless, yeah, might that person, she might, be emotionally detached and from past experience, and that's not what you want. But generally for any kind of relationship, biblically speaking, there has to be a level of connection with that partner. I don't care if you pay all the bills, like in the things that I've said, even in past relationships, I can take care of myself. And when we say that, it's like, oh, that's that independent woman. No, I want a partner that I can connect with mentally, have deep conversations. We make efforts. And to me, it's like, you don't have to take me to this lavish restaurant and all this other stuff. We could go for a cup of coffee. But the thing that we're focusing on is that connection. That connection is what keeps the relationship stable, because money is something that is not guaranteed to owe to us. So at the end, when we have hard times, we only have us to fall back on in the relationship. And that's that stability that you have with that partner that you work to create that love, where when financial times hit hard for us, you have each other and you have that support within one another.
All right, Eric, I don't want to
go ahead, because
I don't want to. I'm not trying to disagree with my friend, but I believe that if you financially stable, you got money, you can be we're gonna just use a scale of 1 through 10. You can be a 5 as far as looks is concerned.
A man can be a 5.
A man can be a 5.
I'm sorry.
No, hold it. A man can be a 5, but if he financially stable, he can date a woman that's a 10.
Oh yeah, they can. And they approach me too, and I be like, I'm good.
No, but I'm just being real, because that money he has is going to make him look like a 10 to that woman.
Right.
But also that person is also her means. I'm
just saying.
Look, she gonna see that money first. She gonna see that.
Yeah, she gonna see money. Like I've seen it happen.
Dressed nice, smelling good, be able to take her to these dates, and the looks
Floyd, bro, I didn't seen it where a woman can be like bad, and you're like, what is she doing with him? And he like a 5 or a 4. So at that point, it's not about love. It's about stability. We know damn well if he didn't have the money, he wouldn't be dating this chick. But again, I'm not mad at her because she's trying to protect herself for the future. I'm not mad at that woman for that. That man done what he had to do to get the type of woman he needed. So I can't be mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? For any man, he know what he got to do to get the type of woman he got. I can't be mad at that brother for having a 3-figure, and getting a bad chick. It comes with the territory. If you making money, you can kind of pick what you want.
Erica, come on now. Now, what do you think? You think most women are choosing stability or love? Just in the people that you know, the people that you're seeing on Facebook or the world.
To be completely transparent in today's time, because people are looking for instant gratification. Like you got all these, people want to date athletes and want to also, they're looking for those things. But then you have to think about Khloe Kardashian for one. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. Like, things like that. Like she good, but she got somebody, but with her situation, she wanted all her kids to have the same father. And I mean, it's just like there's a certain point to where we all have to look at what the trend has come to for relationships. It doesn't mean that it's right. That's where the trend is now. People just don't do the work. They just not doing the work. Who can swipe? Who can give me the red bottles? Who can give me the YSLs? And for me, my things at the end of the day, if that's something I really want to do for myself, yeah, I'll do it. But to me, that is like a momentary pleasure. It's not a long term.
But I think you're speaking from experience that you're a 6-figure or up to 6-figure person. So you're not looking for stability. You're looking for love. So as a female,
she talking about herself.
I'm just saying. No, I'm not even talking about. I'm just talking about the fact that I have great friends that they go through and they're telling you what they want, because you get certain men who come out and they want to take you to dinner and all this other stuff, and then they buy you these gifts and everything and like that, and they go into the relationship, and guess what? They might not actually be that financially sound. And I've seen people who got into relationships with men where they had a deeper connection, but they weren't there yet financially, and they're thriving. Versus where I've seen it, where people have been in other relationships. And to me, again, it just goes to, at the end of the day, for that particular person, the money, I'm sorry, rather what anybody makes, because that money can leave tomorrow. That's not promised to nobody. You stay with this man. Look at the pandemic. Look what the pandemic did. People got,
what did it do?
The divorce rate went straight through the roof. It went straight through the roof, because you've been with these people and he's out there doing this. He's like, man, she can't cook. man, he don't do this. Like, it was like, it wasn't enough that that they provided, so to speak, financially, but you actually learned that person. There was no real monetary aspect in those relationships. It was being stuck in the house with this person. And then you're resulting into divorce because you never actually got to learn that person and get to a strong level within love to be able to get through that. Because I'm sorry, that's all I have to say on that one.
I mean, you're actually making a point for us, though. I mean, I think, most women were with me. I'm saying most women were with me for
anything. People are like, it's not about money. I can't stand him. I don't know anything about her. It goes both ways.
Well,
because if it was really about financial stability, the divorce rates wouldn't have been so bad. If you think partly, because when it came to the pandemic, it wasn't about finance. You was locked down with this person. Yeah, you could go and you could order your groceries. You can have stuff delivered to you. But that was the part when everybody actually had to learn their partner. They actually had to learn their partner.
I mean, the only thing the pandemic did, it forced you to deal with a person every day versus that person normally.
And learn who that person was.
Yeah, you should do that anyway.
No. If you think about it, we get up, we go to work, we go through our things, we go do this, we come, we go out to dinner, all the stuff. We come back home. Well, I love you. How was your day? Go get your shower and go to bed. Think about it, especially for those who work and they're at work more than they're at home, and they come. And during the pandemic, no one was going anywhere. Everyone was at home. So you had no choice but to learn your partner.
Don't you get to learn your partner before you reach that age? I mean, reach that step where you're living together and you're working and doing all that?
You're supposed to, yes. But if you think about it, if the pandemic didn't teach anything else, it taught the fact of how much people actually worked on learning their partners. If that makes sense. Because you had nothing but time to learn this person that you've been married to for however long.
What do you think? Not to cut you off, what do you think about Jackie saying some men are looking for stability in a woman?
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all, because honestly, if that was the case, dating in my arena will be way easier, because you have women who are doing things for themselves, who's working hard, wanting to make a name for themselves, in a sense, not like on a
Jackie
level, but they're wanting to do things for themselves, for their family long term. But there's this, like, it also goes like when you deal with easy and loose women, and then men approach you with that mindset of what they've interacted with, so to speak. It's the same thing. It's the same aspect.
I mean, yeah, I guess you do have some guys that like to, want to, marry or get together for stability, because I know, there's a lot of cats out there that's living with a gal, and if she kicks them out, they're just moving back with parents or whatever. So you do have those cats out there that's looking for a female that has a bag, kind of like yourself, Erica. Not saying you're available, but they're looking for females like yourself who has that bag, who is stable, and they see it as a come up. So yeah, you do have that option. I don't,
Yeah, it's true. It goes both ways. I'm not going to deny it.
Definitely flipped it in a great way.
All right, man. I'm gonna get this in real quick, man, because that was a good question by I think her name was Jacqueline Brown, something like that. It was definitely a great question.
Yep.
I definitely believe there are some men out there looking for stability in a woman, but I also say at that point, that's not a man. Any man looking for a woman to take care of him, that still goes back to as a boy. Any woman that wants to take care of her man, I have no problem with that. But I was raised in a time where it goes back to how you was raised, though. You're going to have to take a lot of stuff from that woman for her to take care of you. I don't care what nobody say. When that woman's taking care of you, it comes with a lot of stuff. Because if she tells you today or tomorrow, get out, you don't have no place to go. You relying on her to take care of you. And it comes with a woman. There's a question that I think we got that leads into this, bro. It does. For Erica to be a strong, you're strong-minded, you're independent. This favors you. This is right up your alley.
No, but what I'm saying is, you gotta understand, when you say certain things, you can't come at it for just one angle. We don't live in a society where there's just one perspective. For me, this is the thing. This is how I view a relationship, especially when it comes to stability.
Mm-hmm.
A man is looking for a woman to provide stability. It doesn't mean that she has to have money. She could be amazing at taking care of the home, a great provider. if that makes it. There's certain levels of aspect that men consider stability to be a factor. It doesn't mean stability is monetary. Stability could be being a homemaker, caring for the kids. That's what they look for. So you can't just focus when you say the word stability. Stability goes in so many aspects beyond monetary needs. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then
get
for
what
me,
you're saying.
at the end of the day, for me, yes, when I get in a relationship, I do feel like it is a bonus. It is a bonus for my relationships because yes, I'm taking care of mine. But guess what? I know my man is not going to ask me for my money. But if something happens to my man where something falls short, he knows I have his back. I'm gonna support him. I'm not over here running his money up, asking for red bottoms, YSLs, and Fendi's, and all this other stuff. Things of that sort. I'm working on together with us both having stability, creating a form of wealth and legacy within our family.
Yeah, I
So
mean, and that's
stability,
the proper
because
minds. That's the
stability,
proper mindset you should have. To be
yes,
honest with you,
yes.
uh,
When I think of men looking for a woman with stability, it could be the stability he sees. I want to know that this like I want a stable wife in the sense that she's going to be a great provider for the kids. She's going to be a great
yeah,
homemaker.
I
That
mean,
if times fall short, then yes, I'm going to come in and I know that my woman has me, so to speak. Because the thing is, there's nothing hurts a man more pride when he might get in a situation to where he feels emasculated. And it goes all about how we were, like you said, brought up, how we perceive things. But it doesn't mean that the stability only has to be on a monetary means. You got to look deeper than money.
well, yeah, and then you have some guys that's already, stable,
Yeah,
and they might want a female that's stable itself. That's not gonna be a crush. So they're looking
yeah,
for a
I'm not
female
mad at that.
that's already have stability mentally and financially, stuff like that, because maybe he wants to create generational wealth. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And you can
Build
establish that
together.
way.
Yes.
So you don't have to help her or motivate her to do her thing. She's already
Right.
there. So I mean,
Right.
that's like a true power couple.
Hmm.
So I definitely feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
Uh, but Miss Paula, she went with the technical thing as far as like being evicted. And she says you have to, if you're established resident there, the eviction process through the courts, and you know what I'm saying, for sure, 14, 21 days, guys. So if you're getting kicked out, you got technically 14, 21 days
Now,
to
I
make it
watch
up.
Fear That Neighbor. Sometimes it takes 3 months. I watch Fear That Neighbor, Fear That Roommate. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So, guys, you still have a chance. 21 days, she can't really kick you out. You know what I'm saying? You could
Yeah.
go through the courts and all the legal documents and all that type of stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah. So, okay. Uh, let's get to the question that Ken was talking about. That kind of piggybacks from
Okay.
what he was saying as far as
Here
to
too.
uh what he was saying. I'm trying to get him on here, but it won't let him connect. He got out of here or whatever.
Okay.
So uh let's see, he'll try to get back on it, but it's about females who make good money are more difficult to date than those who don't. uh
No, I disagree.
you disagree with that?
Disagree. I feel like, and I'm not even gonna put it on. It's so funny because everybody puts like so much emphasis on money. Okay,
Hmm.
like even growing up, like I haven't always had money. I had to work to where I am today. Like it hasn't always been the case. The thing for me when it comes to being comfortable, so to speak, I want to make sure I have a partner who matches me mentally. I'm not looking at the financial means. I'm looking at somebody who matches me mentally more than anything. So if you are the kind of person where you can't meet me on that level, then yeah, it's going to be kind of hard for us to date. But I'm also looking for something deep. I'm not looking for superficial. I'm not looking for something that's temporary. I'm looking for something that's long term. Because when times get hard, I have to make sure that me and this person, despite what we're going through, we're going to have each other's back, even if we don't even like each other for that week or that month or however long that struggle is. So I think people put an emphasis on money so much that it really isn't about money. It's really about the connection you have with that person.
That's true, but you checked off one of those boxes already as far as like financial wise. So you're looking for that mental aspect, instead of a person has that's making money, because you already have that part established. So mentally is really kind of more important. I'm not speaking for you, but mentally it seems like it's more important for you than that guy being financially stable. And financially stable, I mean, that can vary. I mean, it depends on a person's opinion on what they think is financially stable. as if somebody's making 30,000 to somebody's making 80 or 90,000 and stuff like that. I guess that just all depends on your opinion. But I'm not gonna say. And Ken, we can't hear you if you're trying to say something. If you're trying to talk, we can't hear you. Maybe it's because your Wi-Fi or whatever is going in and out.
Are you
Yeah,
muted?
Floyd, I couldn't hear y'all. It's coming in now though.
Yeah.
I'm back
Okay.
with y'all.
So, what I think, as far as as far as the question itself, as far as females who make a decent living, I'm not gonna say they're more difficult. I think that their expectations is a little bit higher and stuff.
We're more intentional.
Yeah, they're more intentional to the details, and I think they expect more because you have you're accomplished, you're established, you did what you had to do to get to where you are. So I think that a guy, um, maybe your age, maybe a little bit older, if he is underperforming, I think that's a little bit of a turnoff because um, uh, you should feel that he should be at that level too. He should be like at least financially stable, and have these type of things to be on that level as a female. So
No,
I think a
no.
guy that's not making that much money, when he dates a female like that, he's gonna say she's hard and she's gonna say she's difficult. And I think that's the guy's excuse.
Okay, I would say two things. To me, I do feel that there are some men that step to women that they know they're not on their levels. And when I say that, I'm
Mm.
not saying that because of like her financial. I mean, you're stepping to someone who's done the work, who went through good times, bad times, trial and error. And like we know, like we're intentional and you have something that's like, let me just take my shot. Kind of like F boys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Kind
Hmm.
of like that thing for me. And then for me, like if my man, despite of like anything that my man would want to do for me, I'm not gonna sit up here and put a dollar amount on his income and say that because it may not match what mine is, or so to speak, that he's not on my level. I mean, there's some men who's making $50,000 a year who do more for their women than men who are making six figures. It's how you provide and take care of that person in the relationship.
True.
When we choose to focus on numbers, that's where it becomes more superficial than actual focusing on intention of what you're actually seeking. Because sometimes what you're asking for, you're getting is just not maybe in the lens that you thought you would receive it. Like when you pray to God and you're like, I want this, and this, He's giving you what you want. It's just not in the packaging that you asked for, but it's the packaging that He knew you needed, if that makes sense.
I think it's just having confidence in yourself, and I think communication really can get you to that point if it's a guy that's not making as much as that woman, because that woman might not be looking for that man that's like financially stable but mentally stable,
Yeah.
and so like you said, making 50,000 and stuff like that, a female, she might not be into that guy just for money, like
Right.
mental and communication really can solve a lot of things, because that female, even though she's making that type of money, she might be, the simple things might matter, the small details might matter, bringing her flowers when she's sad or something like that, that might matter. It doesn't take a lot of money to really impress a woman, to be honest with you.
Right.
All
It's
you
the
have to,
effort. You just got to make effort. And I think if they understood that, like you could go in and I think one of the biggest jokes of the year is Valentine's Day. I'm
that's
sorry.
true, that is
I
so
want
factual,
I want to be with someone
that
where
is
I'm
so
appreciated 364 days of the year because on that day it's gonna be a neck chicks and field day, baby. Like a
mm,
neck chicks Netflix and chill day. I'm gonna cook you a steak or whatever at the house, and we're gonna
mm,
stay in the house to avoid the crowd. But to me, it's like that people do so much focus and emphasis on specific moments, which actually in the long run have no meaning, like Christmas and
mhm,
oh, he didn't give me anything for
mm.
Christmas and he didn't do that for me for Valentine's Day and whatever other holidays. I'm like, if you go and you make this effort in your relationship consistently, those days don't matter.
You know what I do? Like with my daughter, I bought her flowers yesterday just randomly. I randomly buy my daughter flowers just so, type of stuff like that won't impress her, like Valentine's Day. A man just getting her stuff just because of this
Right.
man-made holiday, you know what I'm saying? And it puts pressure on the man to, oh, okay, let me go buy her some stuff, rather than him doing that throughout the year and just showing appreciation. So I like to show appreciation to my daughter, my wife, and I just give them flowers randomly. So I mean, just because, you know, and
Yeah.
they show up and it's just flowers right there. And it's always a moment that my daughter enjoys, and she puts them in a vase and she gets the water and all that type of stuff. And I just like to, and I mean, it's just the small things. And I think a lot of guys, you know, when they say it's more difficult to date women with money, it's really not, because
It's
like
just a
you
level of
say,
insecurity they have with themselves. And sometimes they just have to, it's all about how you approach. And like, you know, it's almost like that level of swag you had. That swag doesn't have to be anything attached to anything. It's just a level of confidence. Because trust me, I ain't gonna go on details about my dating history, but I've been very surprised by people who have come across my path. Been
okay,
very
Right.
pleasantly surprised that I never would have suspected. So
true, okay,
Well, I give my take on it. I mean, I had a little audio difficulty just minutes ago, but I,
for sure, it's all good though.
yeah, I believe that for a man that's making less money than a woman is a mindset. You have to be able to make yourself valuable. Woman's
Oh, okay,
making
yeah, I like where you're
certain
going with this.
money. If a woman making three figures and you only making 40,000 or 20,000, you gotta be doing cutting the grass. You know what I'm saying? Do some extra things to make yourself like it should never be a time when she need to get an oil change. That should never happen. You
that
understand?
shouldn't
I
be
mean,
happening if they making six figures. That's any man. Sorry.
I'm just
That's true
saying,
too.
like, I'm saying that is true. What I'm saying is just you have to make yourself valuable, like I said, because for that woman, you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Compensate, compensate the difference. If she's
Mhm.
making that amount of money and you only making 20, there's no need for her to have to get a tires changed or check. Just make
Yeah,
yourself valuable.
the small details.
The
You pay
small
attention
details,
to that.
because she could easily be dating a guy that's making the same amount of money that she making. So,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? That's where I think that, you just got to balance yourself off. Because I mean, I don't think a woman gonna date you because okay, he ain't making it. She automatically likes you for some reason, but can you make her stick? Can you make it stick? And a
Mhm.
lot of dudes can pull that woman, but he don't have what it takes to keep her because he not compensating the difference.
No, okay. You were starting off good. You
Oh
were
well, I'm just
starting
saying
off
that
good.
just
Man. I'm only saying this because even then, like before, I always just to say that I didn't want to be married. I was gonna be single. I was gonna be that fly auntie,
Mhm.
work hard, save enough
That's
money,
loud.
make sure I got enough for retirement and a fly,
Okay.
retirement home and things, make my niece love me enough to take care of me, one or the other. But it's just one of those things where like it's like the things that you're saying a man should do, it's already expected. Like, and again, that's establishing that connection. Because me, I even used to say, like, if I get in a comfortable enough position and my man said, baby, I want to go off and I don't want to work no more. I want to go in and like, I don't know, go on Broadway, something.
Mhm.
As long as he's taking care of the relationship, and then even if he said,
uh,
no, listen, no, I'm serious. As long as he's taking care of the relationship and
no, no, no.
no, I know I'm dead serious. Just like when
Oh,
people no, just like when people make fun of like stay-at-home dads.
Mhm.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong. If the situation at home is right, the finances are good, and my man decides he wants to stay home and take care of our kids, honestly, I'm down for it. I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not going to say no to that. It just depends on what relationship works for what people. It's
right,
just, it goes to say with marriages, there's no fine line or fine script or guidelines on exactly how marriage goes. It's what those two people agree on and what works for them specifically. So, like where you started, like about the beginning, yes, a man, should do and all this stuff. And yeah, there's things that he might want to do where if he has a little bit of insecurity, he might feel he might do things to compensate for where he might lack. But that's a part of his inner self work he hasn't done. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
True.
Because
True.
to me, it's like we keep going back to where we're putting money into the equation. And this isn't even about money. It's a mental state of being more than anything than it being monetary.
Let me take a short break. Not a short break, but into the conversation, just letting people know. Please like, share this episode that we have. This is episode 110, and we're talking about the relationship, the roles, the specifics, the details in it that would make it a long-term type of relationship, because we got some stuff that's gonna some topics that gonna say why short term later on. But man, just please like, share, If y'all have any comments and questions to my two guests, you can call the number below, 409-233-0017, because a lot of people are commenting and those comments are pretty long on the thing. So instead of commenting, you could just call the number and y'all could just chop it up with us. And also, if you want to support the Kickback Podcast, if you're watching it on the page, you could just purchase some stars. They should be down below on your little page or something like that, and you could do that too. So we're talking about if a woman is, that makes good money, are they more difficult to date than those who don't? But we're kind of tending off the topic a little bit. But let's get on to another one, because we talking about money and stuff like that. So I seen this. So a man that only pays half is a roommate. And I seen a female post this on, I don't know what particular page or group page or post this was, but I seen her post this, and I'm looking at a lot of comments, and a lot of females was agreeing with it. A lot of females on that post. It was like over 1,000 comments. It was over 20 some thousand shares on it. And a lot of females on there was agreeing with that. And I'm going to say a man that only pays half is not a roommate. You got inflation. A lot of men out there is not making that much money to really pay all the bills, the car note, the insurance, go on vacation, take care of the kids and all that, while the female just sits and chills and do whatever she is with her money. I think a man that pays half is doing his thing. He's trying. I'm not going to knock a man that's paying half rent. I think he's trying. He's paying something. You got some females out there that are living with guys and they not paying nothing. They just shacking and slanging. That's it. They just shacking and slanging, and she's just good with that. She's comfortable with that because she has somebody. She's not alone. So I just that's just what I agree. What you think, Ken or Erica? Comment.
You go first, Ken. I've been going first a lot.
For me, a man that pays half, it depends on what you started off doing. Like, what was the agreement that you started off with at the beginning with? Because if you started off paying everything and then eventually you're like, hey, you need to pay half now, she probably going to have a problem with that because that wasn't what you had said at the beginning. So however you start, you just got to finish. And like I said, to me, as a man, my first option is to figure it out. There's different type of men out there, just like there's different type of women. The same way Erica says that there are some men that's okay with being a house, whatever you want to call it,
house husband or whatever.
Yeah, there's some men that's built.
Husband.
Yeah, there's some men that's built like that. So, and there's some men that's not. And this question right here about a man that pays half is just whatever the expectation. However you start, whatever culture you build with your woman, with your wife, you just got to keep it up. Like if you start off saying, baby, I got everything, and then all of a sudden you say, I can't do it no more. For me as a man, it's my job to figure it out. Before I go to my wife or anything, let me try to figure it out first. And if I can't, then I'm going to say, hey, babe, I need you to help me. And then that's where your wife kicks in that balance. And she shouldn't have a problem. It's just how you come at her. So I believe that a man that pays half is not necessarily a roommate, but it just depends on how you started off.
Yeah. Everybody don't start off at the top. Everybody don't start off just being able to, afford those type of things. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't at that point. I didn't start off like that. Me and my wife, I didn't start off just making money to be able to just pay all this, you know what I'm saying? And, and the money she had, she just pays on like a phone bill or something like that. I had to grow mentally and financially to get to that level to where she don't have to really pay nothing.
Hey, but she understood that though, Floyd, because at the time she understood where you was at. And that's why I say it's how you start and the communication that you have with her.
Yeah, true that. And I think if a female sees that her man is out there doing his thing, working hard and trying to pay these bills, I think she should try to assist to help her man. It's hard out there for a black man. So I'm just saying, we got to deal with a lot. So, we do want to take care of our women. We do want to be a provider. But if that man can't do it at the time, then I don't think that you should necessarily sit back and watch him struggle. So. Erica, I think I know where Erica from the head with there.
Look, I'm gonna just say this.
I think I know.
I grew up like my mom raised us old school. I grew up, even when my mom divorced and remarried, I've only seen men provide for the family, even if the women are working. I haven't ever seen 50-50 on something in case something happened, and say maybe if he got laid off from work or something happened, things of that sort. Yes, but on the same time, but on the same token, there was conversations and discussions about all finances that benefited the family as a whole. So my thing was like, when my mom, with my stepdad, when mom was married to my stepdad, he took care of everything. And her money kind of went towards, like trips and vacations, and then also working towards savings. Like that's what I've always seen, even with my grandparents. My grandmother never wanted for anything. I mean, she ordered lavish gifts and things for herself. I haven't. So for me, I don't think, I'm not gonna say that a paying half makes them a roommate, but my thing is, that's a conversation in that particular situation where we have to be working towards a goal. There has to be a reason why, if I'm contributing to these funds and then you want us to be married, and then I'm not asking you to go half on the pregnancy. I'm not asking, like there's some more sacrifices as a woman, because to me, even if, I'm comfortable, I still have that mindset where I come home, I still cook, I still clean, I take care of the home and everything else like that. That's like, it's still a mindset regardless of what I do for myself. And it's like, the woman's the home, she cares for the home. The man provides for home, because in the Bible, the order is God, man, woman, and then family.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's where, growing up, like I've only grown up in the aspect where men were the providers.
now,
Never.
true that. Now, I grew up in a household with my old man. He did do his thing. He did provide. I'm talking about, he did his thing. Now my mom did work and she did her thing too, but my dad was like the main provider for sure.
Right.
But I think if it is 50-50, I think that it's kind of lopsided as far as the female in a relationship. She kind of does do more. It's not really half 50-50. It might be
Mhm.
50-50 on the bills, but like you said, as far as cooking, as far as
He can't
cleaning,
cook. He
he
don't
can he
clean.
he can cook and clean
He
too,
work
but
in the
female.
toilet. Like,
I mean,
no.
we are wired a little different. So a
Yes.
female, naturally she's gonna probably want to cook and clean. If that dude does clean, it's never good enough. We clean up. It's always a spot that we miss that y'all always seem to find, or whatever. But
I've
I
seen
think
some men out clean me, so I can't even get mad. And I'm pretty good, but I've seen some men out clean me, so it's like
okay,
it depends on the man. Depends on the man. And then
okay,
also, he had a maid. I learned that down the line. He had a maid,
yeah.
but
But as far as what I'm saying, my point is that if it is 50-50, I think a female is getting the raw end of the stick, because I think she does do more. If it's 50-50, she's technically doing more. Financially wise, yes, it might be 50-50, but other than that, like you said, cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping,
I feel like
watching.
if we do 50-50, everything across the board has to be 50-50. Of course, you can't do childbirth, but to me, what makes me nervous in that aspect is, if he's going half and say, I get pregnant, and I don't know, I've only been in instances where if I get pregnant, they wanted me to be a stay-at-home wife.
Hmm.
And I'm not down with that. I can't sit still. I personally want a nanny if I ever get trapped like that. But it was just one of those
Okay.
things to where, like, um I personally don't feel comfortable, like, we going through it, even if we're doing the savings, going through, and you're in the habit of knowing that you pay half of this, you half this, and then the circumstances change where I have a kid and something changes that situation where I'm not actually able to contribute because I'm on maternity leave, if that makes sense. Or
Yeah,
something
that's
happens
cool.
and I have to stay home longer. So the whole part about having it to be like 50-50 on the bills, just is a tough one. Now, the one thing I will be an advocate for is women who go get department store card. Like for me, he pays for everything, but I'm gonna pay my own credit cards because I run up my own credit cards. I'm gonna do my own car note because I wanted to drive that note. If he pays the car insurance, that's fine. But things that I run up on my own, so to speak, those it's a little bit negotiable. Like, no, that's your expenses. That's what you ran up. That's what you take care of. Those are my obligations. But when it comes just to the main, like mortgage, utilities, that part I've only ever seen the male do that as a provider, because there's a level of respect acknowledging that they're head of household. I've
Yeah.
never seen equal. It's always been the head of household, the
And
provider.
that's what Jackie said. Jackie, she commented and she said that a man should definitely pay rent, mortgage, and a woman can handle everything else. You have to assure we have a home to be head of household. I like that. And Jackie was on the show before. I think it was episode 107 or something like that. But shout out to Jackie. She's been on the show before. I'm gonna have to get her
Hey,
back to you.
Jackie.
She
Hopefully, we
been.
can do a 2 against 1, girl. I'm by myself.
Oh, she did. Okay. So let's pop up into that. Let's pop
Okay.
up into something else as far
Okay.
as how can a man earn a woman's submission? Because submission is like a cuss word to some females. It's like submission. It's like what? It's like you calling them the B word. It's like
Mm,
they not with that. I don't know if they don't understand
no.
the definition or what.
When
It's
okay,
like
I'm gonna tell y'all and see. This is gonna be like okay. I might not be difficult to date because when I hear the word submission, it's just so sexy to me.
mm,
And when I say that, I'm saying that
okay.
because when I am in a relationship with my man, and in the beginning, I communicate my expectations in a relationship. I'm not because to me, it's not anything that's unrealistic. I'm communicating that I want you to make effort on the connection, on the growth, things of that sort.
Mm,
Those are the things that I need to be in a vulnerable space to be able to connect with you. And you do all of those things right. It's just it flows. It flows like water. It flows like water down the stream. You want to submit to that man. And I
mm,
also say to some men that if you get into these relationships with these women because you infatuated because she's extremely beautiful or anything like that, and it's hard for her to submit. I'm not trying to be rude, and I might be a bit biased. I feel like if she's not wanting to submit, because it's like you're not giving up control, you're just wanting to cater. Submission is like another word for catering to your man, so to
mm,
speak. If she's not wanting to, that's not her intentions in the relationship. To me personally, is not actually creating that deep connection with her man. But and also, if she's not wanting to, that's because the man
Hey,
might not
Deuce.
be doing the work, might not be doing the work for her to want to submit.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my boy K Deuce, man. K Deuce, I didn't know you can. K Deuce is he's one of the dopest rappers out in Beaumont, in Texas. Period, man. I appreciate the homie for tapping into the show. I see K Deuce, man. You might have to come on one of these shows like that, man. It don't have to be about no music. I see how I see the questions and the comments and stuff like you putting down, man. I'm feeling that, but I like what you said. You said submission is sexy. I don't know who Facebook user is, but it keep on popping up Facebook user. I like your comments. Post your name in the comment section so I can know who you is. Facebook user for sure. I don't know why it's doing that or whatever, but I
Sure.
appreciate your
Yeah.
commenting and stuff like that. Who is that? Can y'all see who that is? It just say Facebook
Oh no,
user.
it says Facebook.
Facebook
Okay.
user, man. That's
I don't know who
Maybe
Facebook user
maybe
is,
they'll
but
say
I
who they're
appreciate you.
with.
I'm loving your comments and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
think how a man can earn a woman's submission is, man, you just gotta be a leader. She has to see that in you. She has to know that you're gonna lead her in a direction, you know what I'm saying, and not off the cliff or not into poverty or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think a man just has to be a great leader and provider for a woman to submit to him. I mean, they want to feel comfort, they want to feel peace, they want to feel protected. And I think that's how you can earn that from a woman. But I also think like a lot of men, I'm not gonna blame this on that, but I'm just gonna say like maybe one of the possibilities of them not being a great leader is maybe because they didn't grow up in a household where they seen their father uh do that and provide leadership, because I seen my dad sacrifice some things and go work and come home 2 weeks later, been on the road and stuff like that, just so my mom and my brothers and sisters can have a dope childhood growing up. So I mean, I seen him do that, and I seen him sacrifice, and I seen him work overtime and stuff like that. So I think that what I'm saying, as far as a woman to submit, I mean, you gotta make her. You gotta put in some effort for that. You can't just be
Yeah.
the
It's the
fly out the
connection.
block and
It's the
shit.
connection. It's not just buying things, it's the connection.
Yeah, that's true. Um, Facebook users, you still ain't said that. Maybe it's multiple Facebook users over there though. But Miss Angela, she said it's earned her trust and assurance. You have to earn her trust and assurance for sure. And I don't think that's an easy thing. I think it takes a little effort. to put that in. So, what do you think, Ken? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Ash.
Man, I will say it's a two-part answer for me.
Okay.
For one, I think a man has to make her feel comfortable. She has to be comfortable to want to be vulnerable and open up to you for you to get that submission. Um, but also, I feel like she has to, for the woman, she has to have had a good example. She has to want to be submissive because if she doesn't want to, it's nothing that you can do as a man to make her.
You
So I
don't think
believe,
so?
nah, if she doesn't want to be submissive or she wasn't shown the example, no matter how comfortable you make her, she's not going to do it.
And I
So
agree
for,
with you on that one.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
make
she
her
has.
feel comfortable.
I mean, if you're trying to force something that's not in her, like
Hmm.
you can't make a person do something that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, but a man, if you can make her comfortable, man, it's kind of like being in your kitchen. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in my kitchen, I'm cooking. I'm the most comfortable because or when somebody comes to my house, it's my house, so I got to make them comfortable because it's my house.
Hmm.
So I mean, like if you go to somebody else, you're not gonna be as comfortable as if you in your own home. You're more comfortable in your own house. So to make her to let her guards down, to let her be free to want to, be vulnerable. I believe that you got to make her comfortable, man. And I mean, a lot of guys, go with that expectation. Like I don't even know. I didn't even know. Like I don't really know what I wanted my wife to do when I was like, oh, I want you to be submissive because I was never that guy. Like you do what I tell you to do, or anything like that.
Hmm.
But I learned that the more comfortable she got, the more I made her feel like, she was vulnerable to be with me. She was willing to do whatever I asked. And, some men, like if you go in there trying to stronghold a woman, make her
Hmm.
do what you want, but she's not comfortable, she's going to buck the system. She's not like, she's not comfortable with you to be submissive to you. You want her to do all of these things and listen to you. And like what you said, you're going to lead her down a cliff. That you telling her to hold your hand and trust you, but you haven't shown her that you're trustworthy. All she's seeing you is fail time after time, and you want her to be submissive to you.
I'll talk.
Yeah,
All talk,
that's true.
no show.
And then I think a female. I think she researches. I'm not gonna speak for you, but I think a female sees like what direction. What's your goals in life? Is
Yeah,
this? Are you comfortable at this
Oh,
level at life?
yes.
yeah,
So
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, if you're comfortable with just making like, I'm not knocking nobody. So if you're comfortable just working at the plant and you're getting rained out every 2-3 weeks or something like that, and you without a job for 2 months, and so she's thinking like, what's the direction? How do I see myself with this guy? What's the long term? What's the end game? Like, what do you want?
Right, right.
So I mean, it's
That
it's
is
like
so true.
I
That is
mean, if you
so
don't
true.
have
I
no
have
goals, if you
ended
don't have some
relationships
guys
because
don't
of
even
that.
have a vision. You ask them,
No,
what's your vision? What's your goal? You be like, I don't know. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying?
besides
So
telling me
Yeah,
you miss
how
me.
can she
No, it
trust
needs to
that?
be more than
right.
that.
Like, how can you trust that? Even if I ask a female that, like, hey, what's your goals? What do you want in life? What's your vision? And she be like, I don't know. That's a turn off. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, I can't see myself being with somebody that doesn't even have a vision for themselves. You don't have a vision for us. You don't even have a vision for yourself. So
Right,
I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with choosing that as a long-term partner. So
right.
I'm not speaking for females, but I just think as far as, a lot of guys out there, they don't have no vision, they don't have no goals, they don't have no drive. So a female sees that and that's like, why do I want to submit to this,
Right.
Yo.
It's true. I mean, I've even been in relationships where going in, it was an easy connection. It flowed. It was going great, and I was like wanting to be very submissive, and I was submissive. But then, as the relationship continued, it was like expectations were communicated, and those expectations weren't met. Which to me, I'm like, I'm not asking for a lot. It's like things you have to do that actually you can't buy with money, so to speak. But it got to the point to where I was observing like how they were doing things professionally, work wise, and I became very hesitant because I'm like, if I knew that this person wanted to be a provider for me, I don't think that would be a move. And then for there, if that submission left, it was gone. It was out like I shut down. I couldn't do it anymore because I didn't see where I was comfortable enough where he would be a good provider. Because part of it where he struggled to communicate and was always on defense. And then I later learned that it was past trauma from past relationships that I was being punished for. that had nothing to do with me.
Mm.
And yeah, I shut down. That submission left, and I ended the relationship.
Was that hard?
No, because I mean, by the time that was done, I'd already done the mental work. I went through, tried to communicate with, like, let me see how I can help, offer suggestions, say, hey, I'm happy to support you. Like, I'm happy to help you get through, this rough patch, whatever you need. Tell me what you need. And I'm like, and they'd be like, oh, okay, I'm willing to try anything. I'm like, okay, great. But not actually receive my help, but more complain.
Mm.
And so then after that point, it was just like you go through, because I'm trying to make sure I'm doing all the possible steps to make sure I'm not being irrational, and I'm not being quick to run, so to speak. But then after a certain point, I was just like, no. And then when I was concerned about if I married this person, I would be like, I'd be married, but like a single mother married to this person, because I couldn't see them capable of actually doing anything for the family, but just focusing on their trauma or their lack of, so to speak. So it was just like, I just had to step away. I had to step away from it. And by that point, I did everything else. And I was like, well, I did everything I needed to do. And I stepped away. So.
And a lot of females, they can't do that. First, it's more. It seems like it's more hard for them.
At a certain point, it's so hard to remove the heart in a situation, or love in a situation, and try to come from a logical standpoint. But it's just like I said, when I was young, I got engaged at 19. That relationship was 5 years. And that was 5 years of hell. Okay. Wow. 5 years of hell. So it was like I went through the whole process of what it felt like to go through a divorce, to be in an abusive relationship, to be lied to repeatedly. It was just like a whack soap opera that never had cameras, so to speak. And it got to the point to where I grew up much faster in relationships at that point because of what I experienced so young. And I had that sense of discernment because of how traumatic that relationship was. So.
Okay, so let's get on to the next question and stuff like that. So, and it's kind of what you were saying. What do you think is the difference between somebody loving you and somebody caring for you? And do we get the two confused?
I'm gonna give you 2 words: love language.
that love language been popping up in the comments.
It's real. It's so real. It's like, if you understand a person's love language, it's like if every F boy did the work to really, like, if there was a manual on how to get game, the first thing it says, learn that love language and do that love language, they would win. And I'm not trying to promote F boy behavior at all.
So it's a love language and it's a care language.
Correct. But the thing is, when you learn someone's love language, that is showing that you love them and care for them. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
it's like a 2-in-1 combo.
For sure. I get what you're saying. I think
Karen is just like, I'm going in and I'm paying all the bills to make sure everything's okay. I'm being the provider.
That's
but
Ken.
I could actually not be loving you.
You saying that's Ken right there?
I'm not saying that's Ken. I think it might have been Ken. I think it might have been Ken in the beginning, but his wife probably got him on both now.
Okay.
We probably got him together.
Dang, Ken, she's sending shots at you. That was you at the beginning, man.
Shots fired at me, man.
He's not gonna argue with that, because if his wife watching, she gonna be like, "You better say yes."
Hey, I mean, she got me on that one, man. I mean, it is definitely a difference, though. We do get that confused as men and women. Because sometimes you can care for a person, but I mean, when you really love someone, that's taking the time really to understand what makes them really go to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'm doing things just to do it. And it's like, she may not want you to buy something for her. She may be just want quality time. I mean, so I do agree with Erica. I mean, the love language stuff is important, but understanding how to really get the most out of your partner, how to get the most out of that woman, like understanding what makes her. I mean, like, a woman can really, fall in love with you just by what you do for her, not what you buy. And, quality time is important. Some people just, want to spend money, but some women don't really want all of that. Some women just want you to just, spend some time with them, take them for a walk, and, talk. I mean, we as men sometimes think, oh, I'm going to go buy this. I'm going to go buy them red bottoms and Louis Vuitton purse. Mm-hmm. That ain't what it's about, man. Some women really want 32.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I guess Ken got it.
I know for me, like, because and when I say it's so simple, it could be as simple as like, tell me you're gonna take me to a greenhouse and buy me a new herb or something like that. Like, it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. so to speak. It's just the fact that he knew that that's like one of the things that I like. Or he's like, oh,
I'm back.
let's make dinner tonight. Let's do something like things I like because I love cooking. Things of that sort. But that's how you show that you love someone.
And like we saying, it's the small details. It's the small things that really matter, and it shows that you care. Because like you said, like Ken say, going walking or like you said, cooking together, or just spending time and watching TV and cuddling and just talk about things. I think you can pick up the vibes, man, and I think you can pretty much tell the difference if somebody just cares, or if that person just texts you good morning and then you don't hear from them from the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? Then you gotta pick up on certain things like that. If that's all you getting is a good morning text and that's it, and you don't hear nothing from that person or whatever, it's just most likely that person is not at the level that you should want it to be at, as far as calling that love. Because if you love somebody, you're gonna worry, you're gonna care about them throughout that whole day. You're gonna check on them. You're gonna make sure they're okay. You're gonna make sure if they need anything, if they want anything. So I just think that a person needs to pick up vibes is real. So I think
I forgot to add something too, bro. And I just had it. Like you had said something that kind of caught my mind. Like when you love someone, bro, it's like the ultimate sacrifice, putting that person before yourself.
Facts.
And if you're not there yet, then you only care for that person. But when you truly love someone, you're gonna put their needs and their wants before your own. Like it's the most unselfish act, to really truly love someone. Like, hey, I want to go get me some Jordans, but yet she may tell you she may need some new tires, and yet you're gonna still go buy your Jordans. I'm just saying there are some people that care more about themselves than they do about them partner. So and that's when it's not love, because love is when I know her tires are way more important than me getting some Jordans or me getting an outfit for myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's dealing with more than just that. Is a mindset. You know what I'm saying? Some people are still on that. Like if you still care more about yourself and with some Jordan, you probably got 30 pair, and your woman sitting there telling you, she might not have to tell you, hey, baby, I need you to do this for me. She ain't going to say it like that. She may just mention, or it needs to be done. As a man that truly loves a woman, you're going to go get that for that woman without her telling you to do it.
Yeah, and true. And I want to speak on myself too. I went back to college because I wanted a better future for my daughter, my wife, and my son. I didn't think about it for me. I just wanted to make sure that they were comfortable and they were living how I wanted them to live. I didn't want them to, everybody's still struggling and stuff like that, but I wanted them to be comfortable and be at peace. I knew where I was at the time. I couldn't provide that. Now I had a stable job, but it wasn't at the level that I wanted to be. So I made that sacrifice to help them. It wasn't for me. I wasn't thinking about bettering myself. I just thought about putting them in a position that I was like, okay, all right, I'm providing, I'm doing something.
And to think, as your wife, come to me with that conversation and you say, I know I'm working, but I want to go off and I want to do this. And especially doing that work and having that intention on building that mental stability, that spiritual stability within the relationship. When my man communicates something that he's wanting to do, he can go off and do that because I know that we're strong. So rather him not working, if I got to float the bills, while he's getting through that, I'm going to support him through that because what he's working towards is for the benefit of our family as a whole.
Facts. I think a lot of people, not to get off that topic, is as far as what we're talking about, what's the difference between somebody loving you and caring for you? I think you need to pick up on those small details of the relationship and understand what's going on, and don't be scared if you think a certain thing. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel, and you need to communicate that with the person to let that person know how you feel. And maybe they might do what Ken say, they might do some sacrificing and make that commitment, or they might stay the same. And if they stay the same, then you understand what's going on, and you need to make a decision from there. But let's dive into the last question. Ken, I want you to
I got it, man. I think I got it for you, man. Floyd, this question is really for you, man. How can we end single family households, man? Like what you think is the answer to that?
Look, my opinion might not be the most popular opinion, but I'm gonna say it like this: men need to keep their dick in their pants, and they need to be more accountable and responsible when it pertains to having sex. I think if you have sex with a female, I think you need to strap up, because if you a lot of men are not out there doing their thing, man, as far as taking care of their kids. Now, you a great father. I'm a great father, but man, we got a lot of kids out there. We got a lot of teens out there committing crimes. We got a lot of men out there that's still trying to live their life, even though they're having kids. They're still putting themselves first. They're not putting their kids first. They're
Yeah.
not making that sacrifice. I
Yeah.
want to shout out to my dad for making that sacrifice, for putting me in sports, for coaching me, for when I wanted to quit. He got on my ass for trying to quit. He was there for me. If my dad wasn't there for me, I probably wouldn't even be on this show talking right now. I'll probably be locked up, or I'll probably be struggling doing something. I don't know. I wouldn't be this person I am right now if it wasn't for my dad being accountable, being a man, and what I'm saying, having sex and having kids and staying with my mom and being that. Now, I'm not saying divorces do happen out there, but I'm just saying, if you're sleeping with a woman and you're sleeping raw and you get her pregnant, you got to be accountable of that. You need to be in that kid's life, regardless if she's an asshole to you or not. You need to make that sacrifice. I know some guys out there that are great fathers. They have their kids. They take care of their kids. They're providing for their kids. It's no exceptions, man. If she's trying to keep you away, then I think that you need to make the proper moves and makes to try to get your kid, or at least try to go to court and try to get this 50-50. But I think men out there, man, we got to start being accountable. We need to keep our dick in our pants, man. You can't, there's a lot of men out there that's easy.
Eating everything you poke.
They eat, a lot of men out there is easy, dog. They will smash a chick, no matter
not even get attracted to
2 or 10. No matter if it's a 2 or 10,
Yes,
fat
sir.
or skinny, they go knock her down and they go keep it to themselves. Like they say, they took one for the team. They took for a lot of men out there easy, and they smashing chicks and they getting them pregnant. And they like, oh shit, I got her pregnant. And then now you want to just step back. You don't want to take care of your responsibility. So I'm just saying, we can end a lot of single family households if men keep their dick in their pants.
Facts.
Don't be easy. Hey,
it's not just for the man though, but I get it.
It's not just for the man.
It's not, because I believe that the woman holds the ultimate responsibility. It's her body. And if she shouldn't be sleeping with just any man unprotected, she, like, with now all this happening with the end of birth control and stuff like that, I think is even more important for women to know, yeah, all this stuff, man. I think now when you lay down with someone, you need to be laying down with the mindset, okay, my grandmother told me this a long time ago, if she's good enough to lay with, she's good enough to have a baby with. So my thing is, for any man that's going out there just laying with a woman, if you're not planning on being with her, or if she get pregnant, you're not thinking of what you're going to do if that happens. And your answer is like, she better not have no baby for me. Then if you're saying she better not have no baby with me, then you don't need to sleep with her.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's just the truth, because things happen. And if she ends up getting pregnant for you.
Same thing with women. If you really think like, I don't know, I don't think, like, I ain't really into him like that. Same thing on their end.
Yeah. That's why I say
both. With them, girl, they got toys for women. Go get one.
And Floyd,
Rose or whatever it is.
I'm also go to this point. You know what I'm saying? Because if you see a man and you're dating him and you already know that that's not a man that you see a future with, like, say, for instance, like, you see a man that's in and out of jail, and like I said, nothing against people that's going to jail, doing whatever crime, that's you if you choose to do that. But for a woman that decides that that's the type of man that she wants to be with, don't be surprised the end result if he locked up, if you're a single mother, and his path, whatever he's doing, is going to lead to that path. I mean, I truly believe that if a man is out there doing that lifestyle, I mean, there's only 2 places that you're going to go. You're going to go to the graveyard, to the penitentiary.
You got to recognize the red flags.
Yeah, if you choose to still deal with that guy, you can't blame nobody but yourself. So, I mean, and if we look at the prison, is mostly us in there. It's mostly black men. And it's black men that's leaving out kids out there to be, women to be single parents. So children out there is going to repeat that same cycle. Oh, hey, my old man in jail. They glorifying that their dad is in jail, so they're gonna go right in jail with their old man.
Yeah, and I made this post on my page too. I think females, like you said, on the flip side, females need to be accountable too. I think females need to. You need to carry protection out there, because don't just depend on the man to try to carry that protection. Because look, not to give away the game, but a lot of guys, they will chill with a female, or they'll tell their homies, I'm finna go kick it with the female. I'm finna see if they hit. They're not finna go to the store and be like, oh, let me go get some condoms and stuff like that. No, they're gonna go chill with her. And if one thing leads to another, then they go have sex. And then you know what happens? That sex can lead to kids. And then when that person gets pregnant,
I'll pull out game strong.
yeah, when that person get pregnant along the line, you know, during the pregnancy, after the kid, then you start figuring out, oh, this guy's not, or this female is not this. She don't have no drive. She don't have no goals. She don't want to work, or vice versa with the guy. And then now y'all not speaking to each other. And now it creates a single family household. Now that guy's on child support. He's hating you, all this type of stuff. And so,
toxicity.
yeah, so I would advise females from 18 to 22. I'm throwing the age range out there. When you get out of high school,
25. I'm sorry, it's been proven that age has pushed back. Like our generation, like at 18, my mom was like, "Fair, these kids, no offense, 25 and under, they not built like the way we were built growing up. No offense to them.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? You know, we got to check in with them because they get some could be extremely sensitive, so to speak."
All right, copy that.
Yeah, but like our grandparents and stuff, they didn't really have a lot of like the government assistance things that they had. So they really did have to go out there and kind of make a way and do their thing. So like you saying, being built different, you know what I'm saying? A lot of a female nowadays, you know, under some structure that they might have, depending on that household, they might get pregnant, and then that mom might be like, or that grandma might be like, hey, go down there and get you some housing, go down there and file for child support, go down there and get you some food stamps. So I mean, it just creates a cycle, you know what I'm saying, as far as keeping, you know, yourself into poverty. I'm not saying you're in poverty if you have government assistance, but you could only make so much to achieve so many benefits. So
yeah.
Yes, sir. Man, I'm gonna leave you this. This might be a topic for another episode, but I mean, at the end of the day, there's some men out there that try to get women pregnant on purpose, and then they put a couple of babies down, and then guess what that does? That brings
that situation, and it is very scary.
Yeah, and that brings her value. Like, I'm not saying to bring her value down
after the relationship. That the whole time in the relationship, there was.
I'm just saying, brother. I mean, I got to get ready to make this move, but.
And I've had trust issues ever since. So
I'm gonna leave y'all on that note, man. Like I said, it might be a topic for another conversation, but like I said, man, it's all love. I'm out, and like I said, man, we'll chop it up on later. All right, bro.
All right.
Later.
And I will say, as a result of single family households, and my family might hear this and might not be happy, but because of that, one of the biggest things I had to do was I didn't know about my brother until he was 13. In another country.
Oh, okay.
And in another country, found me on Facebook, like sister. And I mean, like when I first learned of him, I think he was like 9 or 10. And it was like, oh yeah, you got a brother, You know, I'm thinking like, oh, he joking. No, he was dead ass. He was so serious. And then I see the picture and I'm like, oh, you know, this little kid looked just like me. And then from there, that led to years of me and my father having animosity and tension. And the like in the long run, I'm working and developing a relationship with my brother. And then it comes to the point to where I had to work to get him here in December. I am paying out of pocket to get him through college, worked hard to get him a full ride scholarship on basketball for his university of choice. And then I have these battles at time because now our father wants to be present after the past 20 years when you haven't been there for him.
Another country from like what country?
He was born in Estonia.
Estonia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Shout out to Estonia. Is he in America now?
He's here now. Yes, I got him here.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about how much money then came out of pocket to get him here.
For sure.
We worked. We did hard. He did his AAU and he got him a scholarship at a very good university.
That's what's up.
NAIA, was it NAIA D1?
Okay.
Good university, and he's there as of last week. But
that's good. I believe in higher education. My opinion. This is my opinion only, but I want a lot more of our people to seek higher education. If it's not higher education,
yes.
And a lot of people say, well, college is not for everybody. And I know I'm changing the subject or whatever, but a lot of people like college is not for everybody. But those same people are not even going to trade schools. They're not getting nothing. They're just working. Exactly. They're just working at, a particular place or something like that. So I mean, if it's not one, if it's not the other, then what? And I think black people are the only people that be saying it. College is not for everybody.
And the one thing I preach, because I got so much criticism on how hard I worked with, working to get my sister through college. She's in a
Mm-hmm.
successful career, and now I'm working on getting him through college. And it's like, yeah, I've had to make some sacrifices to be able to make sure that they are able to pave the way so that they're comfortable in where they are. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it's like I get that peace of mind, because moving forward, the one thing within our community I think we struggle with, when they say that crab in the bucket mentality, it's a very real thing, in the sense that where, we say that we need to do these things, but we don't actively work. So for me, especially when it comes to my family, things of that sort, with my siblings, I feel like I'm putting into work and creating ways that when my sister finished school, no debt.
Mm,
When he finished school, no debt. The
mm,
sky's the limit. When he decides that he's on, like, hey, I have this degree, I would like to do this, I'm gonna back him 100% to make sure whatever business or desires he have to get off, whatever business or desires he needs to get off the ground, I'm gonna support him, because in the long run he'll be able to support his family and use those same habits to provide for his children. And it's called generational wealth. And I don't think we have a really good
facts.
understanding within our community of what that means. Having a nice, expensive car, having a lavish, a nice, lavish home, you could take that money and you can invest it into something that actually could grow. Like,
Mm,
especially like when we go and we talk to, especially working in accounting, and you see wealthy families, they're purchasing, like, they have trusts and LLCs for their
mm-hmm.
real estate, so to speak, that are passed on to their children, which creates more wealth. Like, it's crazy at how there's so many ways, and you see within the wealthy, they're using other money to make them money, and we just don't have that financial literacy to know how it can be done for us. But it's right there. It's
Mm.
right there. I've been in the accounting industry for 10 years, and I've observed it. It's right there,
Dang,
and
you
people are not taking
speaking
advantage of it. So
like that. That might have to be another show. You know what I'm saying? How can we create generational wealth and stuff like that? Shoot, I'll be taking notes down and stuff for that for sure. But hey,
that
I
was good.
appreciate you coming on, Erica, taking your
Mhm.
time out of Friday. It was a busy Friday for you. And we can run it back. Maybe we can run it back another time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You and Ken had to he was at work. I appreciate Ken doing this while he was at work. That was that was it. That was dedication,
That
man.
was tough. That was, yeah, that was real. That was
He
real.
last time he had his drink in his hand and he was vibing. He couldn't do that this time and stuff like that. So, I respect him on that, but I definitely respect you for coming on the show and giving your great insight and stuff like that. Maybe I get you and Jackie to come on and it could be a two against one
Yes. Girl
and
time.
stuff like that. So, but I thank you for coming on and thank you
Thank
for
you.
taking the time out.
All right. Thank you.
I bet.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So look, man, that was EP 110, man. I know the last time I did the part one with them, that was a 2 hour episode. But man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man, for commenting, for liking, for sharing. I appreciate the people that you know what I'm saying, that help support your boy with the stars and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Episode 111 is gonna be next Friday. I got some good questions for that too. I got some spicy questions for that and stuff like that. Still trying to figure out the guest on that, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to be a guest on that, I think I might have an opportunity for one person if they want to be a guest or whatever. It all depends and stuff like that. But man, I'm finna get out of here, man. Y'all have a great weekend. This was a great dope show. You can check this out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever. It's everywhere and stuff like that. So, man, y'all be safe out there. Y'all have a great weekend, man. And blessings to y'all, man. Forever focused. That's how we gonna do it, man. So I holla 100.